Guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta roll with ice. All these brothers my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side.
Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Paul with Spheric Reptiles, and I thank you so much for tuning in to this great video, I think, about genetic testing. And so in this video, we'll be sharing some of the results that we've just sent off and received back. And we sent them through Rare Genetics and through Cltch, and that's why I have the t-shirt on. Not sponsored by anybody in particular, it's just what we use. So there's other things out there like Husbandry Pro, as well as Gray Rider if you want to get your genetic skin test. It's just up to you, but I'm going to give you a reason as to why we did it, and then I'm going to share with you quickly the animals that we chose to genetic test and why. So if you're planning on ever breeding your animals, such as ball pythons, because I think the majority of genetic testing is with these, right, in the reptile culture, you kind of want to know what you're getting into. So if you have a double visual and it's confirmed, there's no need to genetic test. Or if you can identify a trait, there's no need to genetic test. But if you want to be absolutely sure that you're going to have those percentages to produce the offspring, well, you don't produce them, but that your animals will have the percentages to produce the offspring that you've calculated for probability through the Punnett square, then genetic testing will be your best friend. We choose to not waste time on anything. I mean, I'm already 50, so, you know, I think I got a lot of time, but you just never know. You just never fucking know. So I wanted to do the genetic testing just to make sure that we wouldn't be wasting a year or 2 years with animals that we're trying to pair to produce, get them to produce some animals. So, so I'll just get right into it. The first one, which is right here, and I hope that I got my face out of the frame, my big face out the frame, but it's Cruella, and she is a normal that's double het for Desert Ghost and Hypo. That's what we bought her as from Chain Reaction Exotics, and I definitely thank Danny for the deal on the animal. But you can see how beautiful she is, and likewise, you know, so we definitely, in having this pairing, we want to make some Desert Ghost Hypos, and I wanted to know specifically in the genetic testing what type of Desert Ghosts were we at on the allele. So was it A, B, or C? When we submitted the shed skin retest, when we submitted the sheds for testing, they didn't have the C available, but you can see here that she did test positive for DGA and negative for DGB. So what that lets us know is that if we pair her up with any DGAs, then that will give us the most expressive type of the expression for that location on the gene. So we don't know if she's DGC or not, but we're not going to retest. We'll wait until we get offspring. So moving on to the next one, we have Prince. Moving on to the next one, we have Prince, the yellow belly Desert Ghost. And you can see just how beautiful he is. We definitely choose to buy, if we have the option, we choose to have visual males and heterozygous females because the males reach sexual maturity faster. So that's, you'll start to notice that amongst our collection. But you can see here that Prince, who is a pastel yellow belly Desert Ghost, tested homozygous for DGA and negative for DGB. You know, we're not disappointed in that because the DGA is the more expressive of the two Desert Ghost alleles on that gene for out of DGA and DGB. Of course, as I said before, DGC wasn't available, so we'll just test the offspring. Moving on to the next one, with an animal that we picked up from Bob's Balls. We have this Orange Dream Yellow Belly Inchy that's double het for DG and Cryptic. So I didn't test the Cryptic, and we didn't test the Orange Dream Yellow Belly Inchy because they're so identifiable in the snake that, and her name is Danny, and she's in shed in this picture, so, you know, hey, it is what it is. But I had to shoot the video. Well, I didn't have to, but I wanted to. So as you can see from her results from Rare Genetics Incorporated, she tested heterozygous for DGA as well, negative for DGB. Again, we're not disappointed because this animal, not only is it Orange Dream Yellow Belly and Inchy, which gives us a vast array of options for whenever she starts laying her clutches. But we also have the cryptic gene and now the desert ghost. So it gives us 5 genes that we can possibly play with for our plans for the future for. And now moving on to our very last snake, which is Maximus. And we bought, this snake has a story behind it. So we bought this dreamsicle, which we bought it from Canova, and it was a possible leopard confusion blackhead. So when I was sending off the desert ghost sheds, I went ahead and sent this shed off too for Maximus, which is a male. And just kind of knowing that we'd only be able to test positive for the lavender albino, the piebald, and the leopard. The confusion and the blackhead tests aren't out yet, but what we wanted to do is get some kind of a headway as to where we're going so that when we're looking to find mates for this animal, whether they are mature females or if we buy juvenile or subadult females, we just kind of know which direction we want to go, because we do know that a super leopard or a leopard tends to get rid of the patterning, whereas Inchy tends to add patterns. So the results that we got were, of course, what we thought. We got homozygous for lavender albino, and we got homozygous for piebald, and we got heterozygous for leopard. So let me explain that to you guys. So when you have an incomplete dominant, unless you get the super form, like a super leopard, a super orange dream, only half of those genes given by this male will be for the leopard. The other half will be normal. Now, if you have an orange dream, leopard, Inchy, like in the case of Danny, then for each one of those, you have a 50% probability of expressing it. And that's why you get the different patterns in a different ratio. So you can end up with, in that case, an orange dream leopard or yada, yada. But going back towards Maximus, so if he does eventually test positive for leopard, confusion, and blackhead, it's a 50% probability that he'll shoot those off to the offspring. So, you know, a 50% chance of having leopard, a 50% chance of having leopard confusion, and also a 50% chance of having leopard confusion blackhead or any of the other single genes. So, and it's per egg. And I always say that because I think a lot of people think that if I have 4 eggs, 25%, you know, one of the eggs is going to be this. That's not the case, guys. You can strike out on all of them. The percentages are like rolling a dice. So, man, I hope this helped. It definitely helped us because I just don't want to waste time. I think, you know, when we're in this ball python game, unlike any other game for breeding, and I'm pretty sure it'll be hog noses soon because everybody's buying in the hog noses just like they bought in the corn snakes a while back, and it's kind of cyclical, just goes in waves. But I just don't want to waste time. I'm really anxious to see what I can get our animals to produce. And, you know, that I think fulfills my fascination with reptiles. The fact that I know that we're moving forward into the breeding aspect makes me extremely happy and extremely eager to see what we can produce. So, hey guys, I love this stuff. So please like, comment, and subscribe. And if nothing else, enjoy your time that you have with your reptiles and enjoy the time that you spend with your family.